Hello and welcome to Girls in the City. I am Carmi and this is my co-host,
Allie.
So today we're talking about something crazy, you guys. There was something in the news that TMZ reported. If you guys are fans of 90 Day Fiancé, you will know exactly who we're talking about here. Larissa and Colt, aka Colty. Colty. Larissa was arrested last night in Nevada, I think, for domestic violence. This is her third arrest, according to reports out there, for domestic violence. And she was in a fight, allegedly, last night with her... Is he her husband now? I think so.
I'm not sure.
Colt.
Yeah.
So Colt and Larissa got into a fight, apparently, and Larissa, if you guys haven't seen her mugshot, you should definitely check it out because it is crazy. She is covered in blood. Was it the mugshot?
I don't know.
There's a photo. Yeah. I think it was a photo either provided the police department or something, or maybe she took the photo herself.
Yeah, she's bloody. She's got a cut, like a deep cut on her cheek. It's not pretty.
It is definitely crazy. So if you guys haven't seen it, you should definitely check that out. So here's the crazy part. It is reported that Larissa could possibly have had these these gashes on her, these scratches could possibly be self-inflicted.
Yeah.
Because the report basically says that she had cuts on her stomach and a deep cut on her face. And Colt was allegedly not on the scene when the police arrived. However, when he did arrive, the police department...
They've stated that his fingers, his nails are...
They concluded it couldn't possibly have been him.
Apparently he's a nail biter, and you can tell by looking at his fingers, and they look clean, and they're not sharp, basically.
Yeah, so for that reason, they're saying that there was no way the Colt could have injured her. So they're basically implying that she did this herself.
Yeah, so they arrested her, basically.
Yeah, so she got arrested. Yeah. So, I mean, do you think that's possible, or...
That's insane. Yeah. Yeah, like, what people are trying to figure out right now, there's so many... what we're thinking right now, it's two-sided, where it's like, did she really do this to herself? Are they staying with his mom? Does she have something to do with this?
Debbie. Is
Debbie around? Or did she do this to herself?
Crazy. So, Larissa and Colt, for those of you guys who may not be familiar with them, Colt is a 30-something-year-old man who lives with his mother, Debbie. I think her name is Debbie.
Yeah.
Debbie is a 60-something-year-old woman, and she is supposedly, she's disabled. I don't really know what her disability is, but Colt has stated that she's disabled. He's a mama's boy. He's an only child. And Larissa is this very feisty Brazilian.
Yeah, she's from Brazil.
Yeah, she's from Brazil, and she is very feisty.
Yeah.
So they're a really odd couple. But then this is what makes 90 Day Fiancé.
The show is so good.
This is what makes it. Having odd couples is pretty much what makes the show so amazing. So Larissa does have a temper. We've seen her temper on the show. But do you think she is capable of self-inflicting? Do you think that?
It's crazy. I just can't picture somebody being that crazy to do that to themselves. I would hope she's not that crazy. At the same time, we have seen how manipulating both Colty and his mom can be with her, and even some of his friends were pretty mean to Larissa.
Yeah.
And then it's so hard to, I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. It's like I really, as a woman, I don't know that. I don't think a woman as vain as Larissa takes pride in the way she looks. Yeah. Clearly, she gets really mad if Colty doesn't compliment her, if he's complimenting other women. She took 2 hours to do her makeup at some point. She cares a lot about the way she looks. Her vanity. So why would she do that to herself? Not only that, why would she jeopardize, getting arrested again
Yeah.
for she obviously she wants her green card. I mean, I'm not going to say obviously, but of course,
Yeah, I mean,
she
it's
would
part
be
of-
putting her green card in jeopardy
Yeah.
if she got arrested again.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know if she would do that.
Yeah.
And so they're saying that Colt was not on the scene. So do you think there's a possibility that maybe he could have had his nails longer and could have possibly
Yeah, because there's a gap in between.
There is a gap in between. So do you think it's fair for them to just
arrest her?
Exactly, arrest her and
Yeah.
just kind of just take his word for it.
Yeah, I mean, you find a woman who's literally bloody and cut up, or, you know, it's bruised and scarred, and she gets arrested. So are they really insinuating she did this to herself? That's far-fetched.
Yeah,
you know?
who knows?
Is she capable of doing that?
So on the flip side of it, what if she did do this herself?
That would make her crazier than I thought.
Yeah. So what if she did this in order to frame him?
Or maybe, yeah, it might be framing, quote unquote, or maybe Colt has done such horrible things to her, you know, it's so hard to prove it, you know, when it's just you, that she went so crazy and did this to herself to try to get away. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, well, we'll never know what the truth is.
But maybe more will come out.
Yeah, all
hopefully.
of this is just allegedly, you know, we don't know. We're just basically going off of the report on TMZ. And so Colt and Larissa, in the first place, they've been having a lot of drama. This season has been, of course, another great season of 90 Day Fiancé, but clearly these two have been there's been a lot of focus on them off of the show, because Colt was accused of cheating on Larissa. And here's another detail we forgot to mention. Allegedly, this fight that they had last night was to do with porn.
Oh yeah, like I need to hear more about this.
Yeah, TMZ reported that the fight was allegedly something to do with pornography. So I'm just going to assume, I could be wrong, but I'm just going to assume that Colt was possibly the culprit here. He was possibly the one looking at the porn. Larissa probably found him and was really upset about it. And based on what we've seen from her on the show, we know that Larissa does have a temper.
Yeah.
You know, she does not want Colt giving attention to any other woman aside from her. So there is a possibility that Colt could have been the one watching the porn. She got upset about it.
Yeah, so I don't know. I feel like that's a possibility, but they're so dysfunctional from what we've seen that anything could have happened last night, you know?
You know, I'm surprised they're still together, especially after the allegations of cheating.
Yeah.
Because
I thought they broke up.
I didn't even know Larissa was still in the United States.
Me too. This is crazy. Yeah.
So, yeah, she allegedly found Colt cheating, or something to do, I think it was a woman who approached her or sent her text messages or something like that, or screenshots that gave her proof that Colt was having an affair with this other woman.
Okay.
Now let me tell you the thing that's really crazy about this is because Colt, when you look at him, he does not, even though his demeanor, the way he speaks, he just seems so gentle, and he just does not seem to me like a Casanova.
Yeah, like he doesn't have the, you know, generic Casanova thing going on.
What is that?
I don't know.
To me, Colt just doesn't really seem like the kind of person who... He doesn't look like the kind of person who would cheat. You know, you would feel... I look at him and he kind of looks like a giant teddy bear. You feel like he would be calm and, you know, balanced and
soft, and
you know, like I would never ever have expected for Colt of all people to be like one of the biggest players in 90 Day Fiancé.
Yeah, right? But it just goes to show you can never judge. You just never know.
Yeah, you just can't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
So...
But okay, there's seriously, to me, I need more answers. There are gaps in the story, you know? I am really curious to know where his mom was in all of this, you know? I feel like if Larissa didn't do this to herself, and if Colt didn't do this to her, who did? You know what I mean? Is he protecting his mom? I don't know. Not to throw things out there, but that's a theory, you know?
So
like,
you're
what
saying
if
that
Debbie
there's a
had something to do with it?
this is a
Allegedly.
theory
Exactly.
here.
It's just, we're just
Yeah,
spinning out
so
some theories. But maybe there was somebody else involved, and it wasn't one or the other. Because I just don't want to believe she's crazy enough to hurt herself that way. I don't
it
want
is
to,
90
but
Day
people can.
Fiancé.
Yeah, it is
You just
90
never
Day.
know.
Which is the best. It's addictive, but yeah.
So, what's crazy is there's so many people that it's like kind of split in the middle. There's people who are Team Larissa all the way, and they just don't believe she could do this to herself or do this, period. And then there's another group who was Team Colt,
Yeah.
who just feel like he's abused by her.
Yeah.
She's the one who's abusive. This is the third time she's been arrested.
Say, she does have a past.
We have seen her temper on TV.
Yeah.
So there are people who just are Team Colt and refuse to see any other perspective.
Yeah.
I don't really know if I blame them. However, neither of us are in that relationship, so we don't really get to see what really happens behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And we don't know if Colt could possibly be manipulative.
True.
You know what I mean? Because there's different forms of abuse
Yeah.
out there, where sometimes it's very obvious. It's clear as day and night, and you can see it happening. But sometimes there's different forms of abuse where it's really subtle. It's in a subtle way. It's not obvious to people outside the relationship. So we don't really know if this could be Larissa. If Larissa is acting out based on, some hidden manipulation that Colt might have over her.
Right.
We don't know that.
Right.
The thing, though, is that this show is just... It's the show that keeps on giving,
Yeah, it's just, oh my God, it's addictive. And speaking of Larissa, so she's still locked up, right? To my understanding.
She had a $3,000 bond.
Yeah, and a GoFundMe has been started for her. So they're raising funds to get her out of there. So I'm sure her fans will help her out.
That is crazy. There's a GoFundMe for everything. I mean, can I get a GoFundMe?
Yeah.
So you guys, let us know what you guys think in the comments. This is
insane.
It's really interesting, and I really wonder if there's any immigration lawyer out there, anybody who knows. Do you think this is going to affect Larissa's status in the United States? Is this going to affect her case at all? Will she be able to get her green card?
Yeah.
Being arrested 3 times, I mean, domestic violence is not...
That's a big thing.
Yeah, it's not a small deal. Yeah. It's a big thing. And then now let's just talk about domestic violence. Sometimes, domestic violence is really common. The problem is...
Unfortunately.
When domestic violence is from a woman to a man, sometimes it tends to be overlooked a lot more than the opposite. You know what I mean? So if this really is a real domestic violence case against Colt, this topic needs to be talked about more. Women and men being the victims here, because it can go both ways.
It surely can.
It surely can.
Yeah.
So anyway, we are so glad that we were able to talk about this. We will be talking more about 90 Day Fiancé and just so many different things in upcoming series and our upcoming shows. So I hope you guys will give us a comment. Let us know what you think. This is a really interesting topic right now. Let us know. The reunion is coming up, is it?
Yeah.
I think it is. Or did we miss the reunion? Well, we just want to know what you guys think of this. Give us your thoughts and opinions. Did Larissa do this to herself? Did Colt do this? Did Debbie have something to do with this? Or possibly somebody else? Maybe Colt's girl...
maybe
his alleged girlfriend or something. We don't know. So, thank you guys so much for listening. We will have new episodes of this, more topics coming up, and we hope you enjoy it. And we are the Girls in the City.